Hi everybody, this is one of the question that you have seen in the last assignment. I think the question is question number 11. So in question number 11, you are given a list of costs, and then the question asks you to identify which one are fixed costs and which one are variable cost. So here is the answer for this question. Let's see one by one. Okay, let's see the cost description. Number 1, cost of renting production equipment on a monthly basis at a surfboard manufacturer. Okay, the first thing that you have to know is you have to know the definition of fixed cost and variable cost. Okay, remember, a fixed cost is a cost that will not change even though quantity of production or activity of production is changing. So the typical example of fixed cost is rental. If you have a factory, you rent the factory every month. Let's say you pay $10,000. So it is fixed. You produce one product or 10 product or 1,000 product or 10,000 products. The rental is fixed. So that is an example of a fixed cost. Okay, the second thing is the variable cost. Variable cost is a cost that will change when activity or unit of production is changing. So the typical example of a variable cost is a direct material cost. Let's say you produce a product. The direct material cost for the product is $2 per unit. So the direct material cost is an example of variable cost, because if you produce 1 unit, the cost is $2. If you produce 2 units, the cost will change. It becomes $4. You produce 10 units, it becomes $20. And you produce 1,000 units, the cost will become $2,000. So that is how variable costs behave. So now, back to the item number 1. Cost of renting production equipment on a monthly basis at a surfboard manufacturer. So now, another thing that you see here is possible measure of activity. Okay, that is the measure of activity. In the item number 1, the measure of activity is the number of surfboards. So you ask yourself, that cost of renting will change when the quantity of production is changing or not. So clearly we can say that the renting cost is fixed. No matter how many unit of production during a time, the renting cost is fixed. So that item number 1 is a fixed cost. Okay, see item number 2. Pilot salary on a regularly scheduled commuter airline. The measure of activity is number of passengers. So is it a fixed cost or variable cost? It is a fixed cost. No matter how many passengers, the pilot salary is same. Cost of dough used at a pizza shop. Okay. So the measure of activity is the pizzas. So it is a variable cost, because if the shop produces 1 pizza, the dough is this much. If the business produces 10 pizza, then the amount of dough used in the business is higher compared to when the business producing 1 pizza. So it is a variable cost. The higher the quantity, the higher the cost. So it is a variable cost. And then number 4, janitorial wages at a surfboard manufacturer. It is a fixed. No matter how many surfboard produced, amount paid to the janitor is same, because the janitor does not involve in the production process. Okay, number 5, cost of shipping bags of garden mulch to a retail garden store. So the unit of measure is the bags shipped. So it is a variable cost because you ship one bag, you pay this much cost. You ship 2 bags, the cost will become higher. You ship 10 bags, the cost will become even more than the 2 bags. So it is a variable cost. And then number 6, salary of production manager at a surfboard manufacturer. So most of the time, the salary of the manager is fixed. No matter how many units of production, the salary of the manager is fixed. But if the worker is the factory worker, then the cost is a variable cost. Because for a factory worker, the higher the production unit, the more they have to do their works. So when the more they have to do their works, the more the company has to pay. So their salary is an example of a variable cost. Okay, number 7, property tax on corporate headquarters building. So property tax is always fixed. Every year, the property tax is related to the value of the building, not related to the quantity of production or activity of production. Okay, number 9, shift managers' wages at a coffee shop. It is fixed. Always remember, manager salary always a fixed cost. Number 10, cost of bags used in packaging chickens for shipment to grocery stores. It is a variable cost. 1 chicken, 1 bag. 2 chickens, 2 bags. So the higher the quantity of production or the quantity of product, the higher the cost. So it is a variable cost. So here in this question, you have to know how to identify which one is fixed cost and also which one is variable cost. Also, you have to know for each cost, which one is manufacturing cost, which one is a non-manufacturing cost, which one is a prime cost, which one is a conversion cost, what else? Which one is a direct material cost, and also which one is the direct labor cost and overhead cost. Which one is variable overhead cost? For example, let's see. Number 1, cost of renting production equipment. So is it a direct material cost, direct labor cost, or manufacturing overhead cost? So from this, item number 1 is an overhead cost. It is not direct material cost. It is not a direct labor cost. So it is an overhead cost. Okay, let's see another example. Item number 7, property tax on corporate headquarters building. Okay, so what type of cost is this? First, you know that it is a fixed cost. Second thing is it a manufacturing cost or non-manufacturing cost? It is a non-manufacturing cost. Property tax on corporate headquarters building is a non-manufacturing cost because it is not related to manufacturing. It is not related to factory. And then remember, a non-manufacturing cost can be divided into 2 categories: selling cost and admin cost. So, property tax on corporate headquarters building, is it a selling cost or admin cost? It is an admin cost. So you have to know, if I give you a list of costs, you have to know the type of the cost. So in the lecture notes for topic 6, you have learned about many categories of cost. So if you do not remember this type of cost, then you have to watch the lecture again. Thank you very much. You can communicate with me in the comment section.